What's up, guys? This is Steve with Low Class Media, and I really don't know what to say about this race. It was very, very tough. That's right, folks. This race was very tough, and it's kind of a shame because I really thought this race was going to be the one. I mean, after all, I raced 30B, so not open B with all the younger guys, and while I am 38 and very quickly knocking on the door of 40B, I'm in pretty decent shape, and I really entered this weekend in the best cardiovascular shape of my entire life, honestly. For those of you who don't know, I tore my MCL on New Year's Day, and I've been recovering ever since. Now, I was able to get back on the bike around kind of late March, early April, right around there, and since I've started riding again, my knee feels really good. But because I was laid up, I really obviously wasn't able to ride very much, and I wasn't able to do much of anything in the gym either. And so I lost pretty much all of my cardiovascular fitness. So once I was able to start running again on the treadmill, that really became my primary focus. I think it's where I've seen the most gains in performance, is just addressing this lack of fitness that I've had. And I actually discovered some new ways to train, harnessing the power of AI actually, to kind of help me develop a routine and a training program that has propelled me into new areas of cardiovascular fitness that honestly I didn't think I would necessarily achieve. And certainly not this quickly. So again, I entered this race in the best cardiovascular shape of my life. I was racing in what I consider to be an easier class, and the race was just awful. I mean, I'm not really even sure you can call it a race. I was going so slow. So much so that this race really had me questioning everything, right? Is my diet good? Am I lifting weights too much? Is my riding technique really that bad? Is running really the best training for me that I should be doing off the bike? And the most important question that I've been asking ever since this race is, am I really still having fun doing this? And look, it was really hot that day, so I'm already going to have probably a worse performance, and by all means, I was totally gassed, but I didn't really feel like it was the heat that really got me. Way more than the heat was that by the end of lap 1, I was so blown up with arm pump that I really couldn't do anything. I couldn't hold on to the bike, and so I wasn't racing, I was just surviving and trying not to crash. Now, I ended up 6th out of 8, and while that's not terrible, right, it's not last place, and I was racing for 5th place in the last lap, but even if I would have ended up in 5th place, I still wouldn't have been proud because what I did out there was ugly. And so for the first time in my dirt bike racing journey, I really did leave that race questioning whether or not if this was something I really wanted to continue doing. Maybe racing is just pushing it too far for me and taking something that I love and making it more into a chore. And so, yeah, I have to ask myself, am I going to continue? But then I started thinking of the alternatives. Like, if I wasn't doing this, then what else would I be doing with my time? What else outside of work, family, and friends would my life really be about? Do I just go out to eat more, or go to a bar instead of getting up early to go ride? Am I just gonna go on another vacation? And no offense to anybody who enjoys those types of things. To be honest, I love going out to eat, going to bars, and by all means, some downtime at a tropical destination does sound really great. But those things definitely don't satisfy me. And so if my life is all about those things, I'm just going to be chasing that next dinner or that next vacation that I might go on. But Steve, it doesn't have to be dirt bike racing. Why don't you pick another hobby? Why don't you try pickleball? No. I know enough to know that by my nature, I want to be good at what I do. And there is nothing like organized competition to show you exactly where you stand, right? It brings the best out of you. And just listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about my diet. I'm talking about my fitness. I'm talking about my technique within my skill set, right? I have a reason to eat healthy. When I step on the treadmill, I have a reason to run. And if I didn't have racing to bring all these things together, I might not ever care about those things unless, like, a doctor told me that I needed to. So again, what is the alternative? Would it really be better to not have something that brings the best out of me? I don't think so. And after this poor race, or really it's 2 races in a row now, should the result really even matter to me? I mean, honestly, like, what if I had won? Does that mean it's all over and I'm done and there's nothing else to do? No. The result is certainly useful to show you what you need to work on, but it will never be satisfying. And so it's not the result that I need to focus on, because it is the journey that makes all of this fun. It's the work that goes into this. It's the struggle. It's the problem solving. Those are the elements of this entire experience that make it important and meaningful. So, am I going to continue racing? Yes, I am. But since I had to slog through this race fully arm pumped and in survival mode, you have to do it with me. So let's jump into the race footage and check out what happened. Alright, so not a bad start, 4th place, right? Something happened to me coming off the line. Oh, look out there, Buster. Something happened to me coming off the line there. I wasn't really quite sure what it was, and maybe I just didn't get into my throttle enough, but I started in 2nd gear like everybody else, or I think like everybody else, and for some reason, like, I just didn't have any pull off the line, and I'm wondering if there was, maybe I was dragging the rear brake somehow or something, but in any case, I definitely felt like the bike like that, so I don't know. But hey, 4th place, we're in the woods here, and I don't know what I said there, but I do remember getting even to this point right here and already realizing that this wasn't going to be good. I mean, going into a hot weekend, the race is going to be tough. It's going to be more of a war of attrition. At least that's how it has been historically. I mean, I do think there was one guy, I think it was Garrett Aldridge, who won our class. It's kind of funny because a buddy of mine who I used to ride with, who since moved to Utah, he introduced us, and we were racing C back in the day, and he is definitely fast, but I think in terms of racing TORCS, I kind of had him covered pretty good, but the times have definitely changed, and he absolutely smoked me in this race. But yeah, coming to this race, it's a hot weekend, it's going to be tough, and so you're expecting to be slower, but over the course of the race, and I think just immediately diving into this first lap here, I already knew that things weren't going to be great. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm doing a lot of this sitting down right now, which is obviously not the best. I don't tend to be a great standing rider, especially not in tight woods. And there was something about this course, and I think some of the ruts, like even like in this stuff up here, where it's kind of slotted, that I just didn't quite feel comfortable standing, especially not with some of these like tight apexes and, you know, having to really thread the needle through here. But yeah, so here we are. Everybody has left me in the dust, literally, and I got somebody breathing down my neck already, and I'm just like, oh my god, here we go. It's just me being a C+ rider instead of a. I mean, I'm not even B-, man. I'm C+ at this point. Let's be real. Oh, making that bike work. Yeah, just real lackadaisical and just really just not no aggression, no ability to charge. I mean, right here, you know, get to that next spot. You can see it. Go for it. It's flat. But you know, and even when I was here, I was thinking, you know, all right, I don't feel like great. But again, this is gonna be a long race. You know, it's likely that people in front of me are gonna start getting tired. They may even like straight up override and like literally gas out and completely screw up their strategy. And so I wasn't quite sure like if this was gonna be a bad race or just a slow race. On my GoPro here, I'm also filming in 30 frames per second versus 24, which is what I normally do. And actually, I think I like it. I think it still communicates the speed with the motion blur. I'm running the ND32 filter on the lens, and I still think you get a good communication of speed here. Oh, there he goes. Oh, of course I stall it. I forgot about this. Oh my god. It's chaos, folks. Everybody's desperate to get around me. I don't blame them. Sheesh, dude. Riding like a chump. This little thing right here. Oh god, it's so annoying. Yeah, so I'm filming in 32 frames per second now, and it still looks good. And I think the 24 was a bit too blurry, and you couldn't see some of the detail. You couldn't even see like numbers when people were going by you. Yeah, there I am. I'm already saying this is. Yeah, I'm already struggling. That's what I'm saying. Jeez, I was. It was so odd, man. I just. You know, in practice, I went out and got some pretty gnarly arm pump, which is, you know, kind of normal for me. I mean, it was bad though, and got some pretty gnarly arm pump. Come on, get up there, dude. And spent, you know, a good portion of practice. You can ask the people that pit with me, just kind of like figuring out what I'm gonna do to get the blood out of my arms and, you know, get back to normal and just be ready for the race. And usually once I go through that process, it doesn't really bother me once I get into the race. But already, man, just at this point in the race, I was already pumped. And just like, you know, when you can't hold on, you can't charge at all. You can't ride, no matter what strength or stamina or, you know, a riding technique or ability you may have, you can't apply it because you literally don't have the hands or the fine control to do it. You know, and it's, for what it's worth, on this first lap, I mean, this is obviously my fastest lap of the day, and I've got some decent flow, you know, for me. But yeah, I don't know, whatever I'm doing, like, sitting down versus standing or any of that stuff. It's just I'm taking it all right into the hands. In fact, I mean, how did you guys feel about this race? Please drop a comment. Did you guys get really terrible arm pump as well? Was it just me? I mean, I feel like by the end of this race, I'm getting passed by the pros, the A's, pros and some of the A riders, and I mean, they're just hauling past me. And I mean, look, they're obviously really great riders, and that's, you know, typical of getting lapped by those guys. But like, I just, other than standing through this stuff and, you know, letting your hips and body do the work, I just don't really see a solution to what I was dealing with here. And I'm just curious if you guys also were dealing with pretty nasty arm pump. But for sure, like I said, I did a deep dive after the race, and, you know, there's breathing, which I do think I hold my breath a lot, and I definitely don't consciously think about breathing. And I do think that if you don't, especially in stuff like this where it's real tight and it's real kind of high anxiety riding, you're not really flowing, it's just, you know, point and shoot and point and shoot and point and shoot, and don't hit that tree, and cut inside and go over this bump and go around that stick and all that kind of stuff. I do think, like, you have the tendency kind of, you know, kind of like that all the time, and not breathing is not going to allow that blood to come out of your arms. And so I wonder if it's a bit of that. Obviously, you know, I can't be sitting down and riding this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just not sustainable, and I really need to crack the code on getting off the seat more. And then also, in my research on arm pump, that's probably about the fastest I go the whole race right there. In my research on arm pump, I also, you know, was kind of reminded about the one-hand drill, you know, one-hand drill, riding your bike with one hand and trying to get into some of these turns and whatnot with one hand, and just trying to see what it takes from like a core strength perspective and a hips perspective to really relieve the burden on your arms and hands and still be able to drive the bike and turn it and make it do what it's got to do. Who am I catching here? There's no way I'm catching someone. Is this a glimmer of hope? This can't be from my class. This has got to be someone who had like a nasty crash or something and is just recovering. I mean, yeah, they already look smoother, but let's see. Oh no, they got out of the way. Who knows? Yeah, I think maybe they just had some trouble. But yeah, and I really think, like, by focusing on that one-hand drill and kind of always, and you know, maybe I'm not actually riding with one hand, but I'm always thinking about, like, could I take one hand off the handlebars here and still be able to get through this obstacle? And I mean, like, look, with these whoops, you got to hold on. Some of this stuff, you got to hold on. But, like, is there a way that I can kind of consciously always be trying to find the least amount of grip strength necessary to hold onto the bars and turn the bike? This corner right here, this is the kind of stuff that just kills me. Splashing down into that sand pit, having to turn the bike and then get back out of it. I've got no confidence in certain areas of my riding. I love this grass track, and I really wish I had the hands, because I love stuff like this. I ride a lot of supermoto as well, and this kind of reminds me of supermoto, just slamming on the brakes and sliding the bike in, and there's an inside cut there that we eventually take, I think. And then lining these turns up like a race car versus, you know, just like opening them up and running more like a F1 car or something like that in terms of your racing line. I'm not saying I always do that. Sometimes I'm avoiding obstacles, and so I'm not running an optimal line, but I'm doing so to miss things like this right here. Inside to inside, trying to miss all these whoops. These things were getting big. And I had nothing. I'm telling you, I felt like if I just went over those whoops, I was just going to leak more energy, and it was just better to just make the decision to go around them, conserve a little bit, and then, you know, fight on somewhere else on the track. And these were terrible up here. So awful up here. Another thing I've been tinkering around with is my spring rate. Oh, here comes somebody. I need to get out of the way. Who is it? Or is this in my class? No, I think I let him go by here. Someone's behind me. 2-stroke. I think that's the guy that crashed. Maybe. There might have been a different class, but either way. I've been tinkering with my spring rate because when I first started riding, I was about 167 pounds. Now I'm 187 pounds. Which, considering I'm probably in some of the best shape of my life, it doesn't make sense that I've gained so much weight. But in any case, I've gone up, I think, a couple spring rates in front and a couple spring rates in the rear. There was another race I raced before I got injured where I had literally bought the absolute wrong spring for the rear of the bike, and I got absolutely eaten alive by every single bump on the track. And since then, I've been able to buy the correct spring for the rear shock, but also, where am I going here? But also, interesting. Was there a trail out there? Oh my gosh, there was. Nah, no way. I'll have to get a better look at that on the next time. Yeah, I bought the right spring for the rear. I also got the right spring for the front end. And I've been riding a lot of hard pack. The only problem is I think the hard pack that I've been riding is pretty smooth. So it didn't quite prepare me for this. So yeah, I'm just getting out of the way. This dude in the Hawaiian shirt, every time I'm in a race with this guy, he passes me about the second lap, and he's gone. I am never fast enough to hold this dude off. I don't know who he is. He's never, I don't think, in my class. I think he usually races 250B if he races on Saturday. And he was in, I guess, 40B this race. But I'm always seeing him in his Hawaiian shirt. I'm always like, who is that dude? But, yeah, I think I finally got the correct spring rate, and I've been riding hard pack and developing a setup that I think is good. And I've been very, I don't think I've been happier with the way my bike feels. But coming out here kind of made me question all that, along with everything else I was questioning. But I'm really wondering kind of like where I'm at in the stroke of the suspension, if I'm too low still or what. I mean, I'm running the clickers out to the comfort setting as per the manual. I mean, all I did was change the springs. I felt the valving was pretty much good right out of the box on this 24 350 XCF. And I am curious if I'm running too soft of a setting and I'm actually kind of riding lower in the stroke than I think. And so on some of this chop, you know, maybe I pick up a little bit of harshness in the valving, but maybe that harshness is better than feeling kind of that wallow, kind of slappy, splatty hit every time I hit like a hole or something like that. So I'm going to do some tinkering on that. Here we are, lap. This is lap 2? I think so. I'm not sure much of anything happens on lap 2. I think I pretty much raced by myself. I might start getting passed by the pros already, though. I'm not 100% sure. At some point, I really just try to start standing up and just going slower and just trying to like get off the seat. And I literally was going a snail's pace in order to just try to, ride standing and still feel confident within my ability to not hit the deck. But I don't think it's right now. I mean, it looks like I'm sitting down still. Another thing I was curious about too is where my sag really is, because I'm not super tall, but I'm basically like, I don't know who that. I don't think that guy was in my class. Maybe he was.
My hands are already completely gone.
Yeah. Hands are completely gone. But no, I was curious, should be setting my sag often, and I have a slacker tool, so I should be able to do it by myself pretty easily, but I am curious kind of like what my sag was in this race and what it's been, because I'm not super tall, but like I said, I am 6 feet in boots, and I just kind of feel like I have a problem getting my weight into the pegs, and specifically kind of like just in front of the pegs, to where I'm kind of pushing backwards into them, almost like when you're starting the race, how you get real far forward on the seat. I mean, I'm not talking like necessarily that extreme, but certainly I'm not making a conscious effort to move to the front end of the bike to give myself my leg more room to kind of get in front of the peg of the bike. But I also wonder too, in addition to that, is my sag kind of low to where like every time I hit the throttle, I'm kind of like rolling to the back of the bike, like rolling off the bike, because I'm certain that the biggest issue with arm pump is the fact that I'm constantly pulling on the handlebars under acceleration. In fact, I find it easier under like hard acceleration to not do that, but like it's in the woods like this, where like you're going up and down and turning, and then as you're hitting bumps, you kind of hit the throttle, and it's kind of, oh jeez, I think that was my class right there. I think I saw a blue sticker. Yeah, that guy. I think that guy was my class too. He might be in last place right now, which I think would technically put me in last place in the entire second race, which is very discouraging. But yeah, all those little micro throttle hits, I feel like I'm just pulling on the bars, and so I need to get off the seat, stand up more. I need to focus on trying to use as little hands as possible, but I think that's only going to be necessary by how I'm sitting or standing on the bike, right? Where am I positioning my balance of my kind of center of gravity to allow my hands to relax, and then just sort of let my, hey, now that was a sick little line. I saw a faint little trail in there, and I was like, screw going down there and making that turn and then going up that hill. I'm just going to cut it right down the middle. But yeah, I think I do have the tendency to kind of slouch on the seat and roll my hips under, where I need to get my hips forward and kind of brace my body using my core to where I'm putting all of my weight sort of like backwards and down into the pegs. This is where I think I'm standing up for the sake of standing up. Yeah, I don't think that was faster. Look at this. This is funny. Hey man, just doing what I can. Hardly. I think I went that way, and I don't know what happened to him. And again, I don't know if he was in my class or not, but I never saw him again. Stay to the inside there. I only figured out that little inside cut to not have to go into that branch in practice because there was a couple guys piled up under that branch, and I was like, oh, I'll go this way.
There you go. Wait for it.
Yikes. Once I got to this point of the race and I knew I was just completely junk, I started really trying to focus on finding the smooth line and just like trying to keep the wheels rolling, and like probably, you know, obviously like going slower, but specifically like slower through the turns, braking earlier just to try to not break my flow, what little flow I have. And it's like right there. Not fast, but you know, moving the whole time. Here we go. This uphill has gotten so dug out over the years. Alright, just taking the inside for the fun of it. I love grass track, and it was just so... It was such a bummer to not be able to just rip on this stuff.
I'm trying to stay off the brake.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I was doing too. As I was trying not to use any rear brake and just use the front brake to just keep rolling. I mean, I was going so slow, I didn't really need the front brake. Boom, boom, 2 big bumps right there. I told myself next time I'm going to stand all the way up over those bumps. There you go. Always finding the creative lines. That's what we do as TORCS racers. Okay, yeah. Here goes Riley. I almost fell over right there.
God damn it.
You can tell I was pissed. Yeah, Riley's going through there like the race just started. Yeah, this is lap 2 already getting past. It's bad, guys. It's real bad. Oh yeah, there we go. Actually, this might be the fastest I went the whole race. I'll take it. Missed that inside again. There's an inside cut there too. Nice. Decent sequence of keeping moving and keeping the speed up. It's kind of butthurt, man. There was this, the very last lap I saw a way to get through this a little bit. That wasn't bad. But on the very last lap I saw a different way to get through that, but I still avoided the whoops. But it was, that was way faster that pass than the first lap. But yeah, somebody went in the whoops ahead of me and I saw what they did and I was like, and I just followed them, and I wish I would have known it a little earlier. Jeez, these whoops, crazy. Yeah, I don't even think if I was fresh, if that was the first thing I hit, I don't even know if I could hit those. And it's not because I feel like they're out of my reach. I mean, the bike setup was really just like so floppy. And I really just don't think I would have had the reactivity in the bike to make that happen. Trying to do what I can. I don't think I left third gear this entire race. It's not a good thing. There you go. Try to. My second and third laps were almost completely identical. I mean, they were both, I think, 15:49s. Keep in mind, the pros are running like in the 11s and 12s. It's not good. It's not good, folks. My riding is very much in question. But, yeah, I looked at the lap times after the race, and they were very... I mean, like, yeah, I think I ran like 15:49 on lap 2 and 3, like to the second. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, because on lap 3, I started to catch someone. Decent little flow through there for me. I mean, this doesn't look quite as bad as I remember it being. Come on, dude, get the bike going. Let's go. That was the second pro. I mean, dude, Riley is like way ahead. Come on. Let's go. was faster. I just saw it last time and I was like, let me try it. Lap 3, moving along here. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, like, you know, where am I in this? And I mean, I know I was passed by a few folks. I know I saw, you know, one guy pull over. And I know I'm going slow, but I'm also wondering kind of like, how's everybody else feeling? You know, did they get way out ahead and are they getting gassed out? Little did I know, the answer was no. And I saw this guy. I think that was John Jett. He hurt his knee, I believe, in his video, but I saw him pulled over. And I knew he was in my class because I saw him on the starting line. I took a good look because I wasn't familiar with everybody on the Sunday race. And so, yeah, I passed him after he pulled over. There was another guy who, and I see this guy too.
Right.
I don't know anything about him. I'm pretty sure I'd never see that guy again, but I don't know. He might come back and pass me. That might be the guy that I caught. But there's somebody on this lap who I chased for quite a while.
There you go.
I'm not doing too bad here. Again, it's just... Oh, sorry, bud. It doesn't look near as bad as I remember. It don't look good. Don't get me wrong. But it don't look near as bad as I remember. And that guy too, I was like, who's that? You know, so I'm starting to think, like, are people dropping like flies? Like, or are these just random folks who don't apply to me? I really don't know. I have a story I'll tell you after the race. Look out.
Come on. All I gotta do is just get through this.
Yeah, this section, man, I mean, nothing hard about it from like a riding standpoint, but with under the fatigue and the hands, it's just like, oh my gosh. Of course, someone's coming. I'm thinking I just need to get out of the way. That was a red sticker. Yeah, I just kind of kept telling myself, like, I just got to keep moving. And, man, just going back and forth and back and forth. Like, just, like, it was just tough. It was tough with the condition I was in. There you go, nice and clean. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's the guy. This is the guy I think that I catch. He was pulled over. I went around him, and now he caught me and went around me. I'm pretty positive that's him. And so, I ended up chasing this dude for a while. I'm not sure who it is. Come on, keep moving. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. There's kind of a tortoise in the hare type of situation. Because he definitely flew by me. Granted, I didn't attack those roots at all. But, like, I don't think there's any question that he's going quite a bit quicker than me. But then I kind of start closing the distance on him, and so I'm wondering if he's having kind of fatigue issues. Let's just see how this develops here. Maybe bike problems. I know my air filter was completely clogged after this one. Look at that. Alright, it's not that serious. Go a little quicker. Hey! Come on, buddy.
On your hip. Good.
This was the first part of the race where I started to think about loosening up my grip by squeezing the bike with my knees and using my hips to turn the bike. Oh, see, there he is. Probably should have been thinking about hips a lot earlier. But yeah, here we are. We caught up. I don't know why.
You alright?
Is that him pulled over again? Nah, that's a different guy. And so, again, to continue to build the narrative here for the story that I'll tell you after the race is over, it'll be quick. It's a force truck in front of me, and that was a lot of smoke that came out. Maybe he is having bike problems. Or maybe that was dust, actually. But yeah, so, like, you know, I've caught this guy after he's passed me. And then I saw that other dude pulled over back there, and so I'm just kind of starting to think, like, all right, is the heat playing into my favor here? Oh, a little too wide, Buster. And so I'm kind of starting to really, like, I have no idea where I am in this race, and I know I'm not, you know, near the front, but I'm wondering, kind of like, dude, I might be working my way up here. This guy's giving me a little motivation to pour it on a little bit. Give me something to chase. Give me some hope. Rode all the way to those bumps that time and then sat down. Hit that the best I ever hit it the whole race so far. Come on now, get through there. He's faster than me, but I can still see him, kind of. Helmet gleaming. There he is again. Oh, there he is. He's gone, though. Come on, Steve-O. Get on with it. Coasting, 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 coasting. There's someone else over there, too. You know, you guys know where I placed. I said it at the beginning of the video, but I might have been more in this than I thought, but I don't think so. Now, looking at the times, I think there was such a huge... Well, I did have a pretty bad crash here on the last lap, which you'll see. So, I don't know. The separation was pretty substantial in times, and so... I need to look at the differential. But, yeah, I mean, there's two guys up here. I mean, one is the guy that I'm chasing who's in my class for sure. And there's someone else in front of him a little ways up. I don't know who they are, but if they're in my class, I mean, I might have been more in this than I thought I was. One other issue that plagued me in this race was I had my water pack, and I filled it up with some juice. A concoction of special making, and I was drinking it, and then I got to a point where I wasn't getting any more. I was like, dang, I drained this thing quick, and I actually am running kind of a smaller capacity. I think it's only like 1.5 liters, or it's like 2. I'm not really sure, but I think it's 1.5, and so I was like, dang, I drained this thing fast. But then when I got after the race, the like majority of it was still there, and I think there was some way that the pack was sitting in my kidney belt, because I'm running instead of doing a backpack like I used to use, I'm using the hip pack. I think there was some way that it was sitting within my hip pack that was kind of pinching it off, and so I'm gonna have to do some investigation there, because I was definitely getting thirsty for sure towards the end, but just couldn't get any juice. And I don't know about you guys, but having that hydration, I mean, it changes it for me. Like if I don't have it and then I get it, like it for sure like kind of revives me. Now I don't know if this guy's doing just enough to keep me at bay, or if I'm, we're about the same speed. And I apologize, I don't know this guy's name. Whoever you are, mystery guy, good racing. But I mean, he's in sight, and I've got a little bit of hope here, especially considering I feel, I've sort of was thinking that I had like passed a bunch of people who had pulled over. I feel like you could go to the right of that tree and that would be illegal. There was like a ribbon out there. Yeah, he's right there going through a scoring. Then I see this. Pulls over, he got something from somebody there. And I was like, I don't know who's clapping at me, but thank you. I needed it. But I saw him pull over. I was like, all right, last lap. It's got to be the last lap. I'm going to gap this dude. See if I make it harder for him and just put up some sort of fight. Because I was like, we're kind of the same speed, Maybe if I can put something on him, I could pick up a place here at the end. And so that's what we tried to do. Am I standing here? No. Nope. Get on this. Get off the seat, dude. Come on. I'm literally just looking for every smooth part of this track I can find. Trying to avoid every bump. This turn, dude, obviously I need to be running it wide, but... Jeez, dude, like, I've got nothing in those flat, off-camber turns. Nothing. What about you guys? Did you guys feel like it was taking forever to get that thing turned, or I really look like I'm just struggling way worse?
Why?
So reluctant to want to go down in that pocket right there on that tree. I don't know why. That tree was kind of growing like right into the trail there. I felt like I was gonna maybe bounce off it or something. Oh my gosh, dude, this is... What's the thing that people do? They do the slow race. Who can go the slowest?
There you go.
Made the most out of that. Yeah, this is a snail's pace. Really trying to stay off the brakes as much as I can to kind of like just eliminate the back and forth and back and forth. And just kind of keep the bike rolling. Trying to use, you know, front brake only and just what I need. Changing lines here. Might have been better. Piston about to jump out of the bike. A little standing through there. There you go. There. Yes. I don't work out leg. Of all the working out I do, I don't work out legs a ton. And but I do lift weights. I'm trying to increase my lean mass because I'm getting fat. And I don't know, people say, you can't be working out arms, don't be doing upper body, you're gonna get arm pump. I did get arm pump, but it ain't because of that. But what I don't have is strong legs anymore. I used to be so strong in my legs. And, but I've kind of just not really worked them out very much, besides like deadlifts, and I've not really been doing, it's been more of a back workout than it's been like a, you know, a leg workout. And the Tuesday after this race, I was in the gym already hitting the legs, so I'm coming back with some pipes, dude. Just gonna have some freaking tree trunk legs when I get back. Take some of this shock, make it easier to get up and down on the seat. Take more of that impact. Hopefully I don't gain too much weight and have to go up more springs. Yeah, right. I was so focused on just get through here clean, just get through here clean. Say, get through this. There you go. Is there an echo in here?
What are you doing for?
Very nice. Standing. I love it. Take a seat to hit that little deal right there. I don't know why it always sketched me out. Come on, stay off those bumps into the main line there. These two. Oh, just ran right through them. That's all good. Alright. Take the little hotline here that I found earlier.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, not good, folks. And I think that's old boy right there. I hope I look. Do I see him? Ah, of course not. I don't know. That sounded kind of fast for the guy in my class. I don't think it was. I think I did actually see. I think this is him right here. Nope, that's still not him. I'm so gassed right here. Like, I'm literally just like, I've got to take a moment to even get up there. I couldn't even walk up that hill. Like, and then I see this guy running, and I was like, who's this? I was just like, just flip my bike over,
Flip it.
Sure.
and then I'll go that way.
I can get it around.
If you can get it up, I'm dead, bro. Yeah, if we can go that way, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Terrible finish. If you can get it all the way up, that would be so sick.
This is the worst
shift down, it's in
position
third.
for the bike to be in. I'm literally like, I wanted to help this guy,
Oh,
and
no,
by
I'm
and
truly
like,
fucked, dude.
I was so absolutely gassed. I couldn't even, I'm telling you, I couldn't even walk up that hill. I had to go over here to the shallow side of the hill just to be able to get up there. I had no
I'm coming.
energy to get up there to even help him. Thank God he showed up. Super, like, whoever knows this guy, please tell him I said thank you. I mean, I know I do here, but like, this is just like an angel sent from heaven. I'd have been there all day trying to get my bike out. By the time I picked it up, I would have waited like 10 more minutes just to get back on it.
Aaron. Huh?
Aaron.
You let it go.
Thank you, Aaron.
So much, boss. You're the man.
That dude saved my ass. I believe that was a Texas A&M hat. Fellow Aggie. Let's go. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Oh, but I hear you, buddy. Who's this? I think this is number... I'm not sure if that was number 400. It might be the next person that passes me, but... Yeah, that guy saved me, man. I mean, I was like... I was looking at my bike on that hill, and... I was like, what am I going to do here? Of course, it falls in like the worst way possible. Handlebars down, steep hill. You know, I don't know what I hit at the bottom of that ditch that bucked me so hard. I mean, I went through there the same exact way the last time. I mean, granted, I did try it at third that time and try to carry a little bit more speed, but still, like, there wasn't... I hit something. Probably some stupid stick. And, I couldn't get my feet down. Yeah, I think that's number 400 right there. Yeah, this dude, he used to race and be with me. This guy charges, man. I love this guy. But yeah, bike was upside down, handlebars downhill. I was just thinking, I'm just going to flip this thing over. You know, by the time it slides, the tires will be, you know, kind of closer to where I need it to be, and then I'll just kind of lean it over and get on and then go around and come back. But
Oh boy, Aaron saved my life.
But he saved me. He saved my life.
I was like, dude, if I had any ability to help you right now, I would.
I was literally
so
just trying to catch my breath to go up there and help him, and I just couldn't. Again, it wasn't the heat though. Like, I really didn't feel the heat. It was the physical, like, total body workout that I'm getting by not being able to hold on to the bars and just having to just like trying, I mean, it's like I'm constantly trying not to crash, trying not to fall off the bike, and so, like, obviously the heat is, like, a major element, right? But, like, I honestly, once I got back on the bike after he helped me pick it up, I realized, I was like, dang, I kind of already, like, recovered, you know? Like, once I actually got on the bike, it's kind of like right when I felt like, oh, I'm good now. And so it didn't really take that long, but but yeah, it was more just like, it was more like sprinting pain. Like you're just so, you're going so hard that you're just totally gassed. But, and obviously the heat is a factor, but it just,
Cross-running all the way through.
but it wasn't really,
That would kill me.
I felt like what was getting me. I do wish I would have had the water right there. I also did end up getting sick this week, and I know COVID has been going around again. Both my brother and his wife got it, and I kind of wonder if I was already feeling it on Sunday, because I mean, I've raced this track before when it's hot, and it's not this bad. Like I'm not, I mean, this was like bad. And so I feel like this was like uniquely tough on the hands and on the body. But like I said, it's been hot before, so I just kind of wonder, you know, if my body had already been getting sick already. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for going slow, by all means. Like, I'm not that fast, but you know, you got to kind of think about, like, what are the variables that are converging to make this happen. And I do kind of wonder, the second time I stopped to let somebody go by there and almost fell over, I do kind of wonder, you know, if some of this sickness that I've had this week started, you know, earlier. Because I mean, Saturday, honestly, I first of all, I didn't sleep great at all on Friday night to Saturday morning. And then Sunday when I woke up for the race, I kind of felt like, ugh, like, all right, I gotta get up, gotta get over there. I didn't feel like I had, like, yeah, I didn't feel like I woke up refreshed, and I got like a full 8 hours. Who knows, but either way, lots of stuff to think about and work on for the next one. There we go. Found that cut through there. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Let this guy go by. Ooh, he jumped that big whoop right there. I was like, I'm gonna do that too. so embarrassing. It's just so unbelievably embarrassing. Sheesh. Come on. You can tell I wasn't happy. Just make it in. Just put me out of my misery. Can't wait for the next race. Call me Trail Ride McGee, just cruising.
Hey,
There he is,
again.
my guardian angel. I heard someone on a two-stroke, and I wasn't sure who it was, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna lose this last place. I was like, I'm out. I can get this last one. I'm not gonna get past one more time. There was no one behind me. I was the last one in my class to get 2 laps, or 4 laps, excuse me. But still, I thought I heard somebody. All right, folks. So that was the race. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did competing in it. No, actually, I hope you enjoyed it more than that, because this was definitely a tough one. But yeah, it was kind of funny. After the race, I did not know how I did, and I just went back to the truck and cooled off, and I was like, I'm not even going to look at the results. There's no point. I probably got last. And I got off all my gear and got all changed and everything, and then Jeremy, who pits with me, and Nathan, Jeremy went to go look at his results, and he came back with a plaque. And, he was like, oh, I got second, and I was like, oh, dang, good job. And I think Nathan ended up getting third or second in his race as well. And then, no, he got second. And then, and I was like, well, what did I get? And he's like, oh, I forgot to look. So he goes back, and on the way back, he's coming with a plaque. And I was like, oh, no way. No way. Is that for me? And then he hands it to me. He's like, you got third? I was like, no way. Yes. I was like, I can't believe it, I just didn't think it was possible, but I was like, maybe I just got out there and people were dropping like flies in the heat, and I was able to just keep rolling. And I don't know how that is a third place race, but hey, I'll take it. But it didn't seem possible, and sure enough, it wasn't. I went over to the results, and I looked at the results, and there was a page break in the middle of our results, and so he saw our class, but he only saw the second half, and I was the third one down from the top, so he thought I got third, but I actually got sixth. Would have had fifth there maybe without that crash, but whatever. Anyways, funny story, but yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I quietly hit 1,000 subscribers here over the past 6 months or so. I know I've been kind of not posting very much, just with like injury and kind of scheduling and all the different things going on. But really do appreciate you guys watching and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me. And this is a big goal of mine, was to build a channel to 1,000 subscribers. And so now everything here is a bonus, and it's just fun for us. So again, appreciate you watching. This is Steve with Low Class Media, and I will see you at the next race.